Hi everybody, welcome to Fauxropter. Joining me today on Fauxropter is...
Surprise, surprise! John Dutton.
I'm also here, John Dutton. Just kidding, it's Bobbie Gaucher. Today's word is...
Bag.
So, John, today's word will be a surprise to me. Do you mean bag as in old bag? Bag lady? Or it's in the bag?
None of the above.
Oh.
So, I heard an interview with this professor from the University of Sydney and Harvard called Adam Bobbie, who is a psychology professor. And he's just written a book with a couple of other people called Thomas Suddendorf and Jonathan Redshaw, called The Invention of Tomorrow, A Natural History of Foresight. Okay? Yeah. So one of the things that came up in this interview that I found super interesting was that the bag is an invention that kind of changed human social evolution. Okay?
So, I didn't know where you were going before, and now I do, and it's brilliant.
Okay, well, so for the listeners out there, hello listeners, just to kind of paraphrase, summarize what he said, and hopefully I'm not getting this wrong, the reason that bags are so important is that they're not just like, oh yes, now we can carry things around, which is the obvious reason that they're important, right? Whenever some Stone Age lady invented the bag, it's that to use a bag means that you have to have foresight. The only reason to put things in a bag is because you're going to need them later. Okay. And foresight is a thing that apparently no other animals have. And this is just almost echoes our previous episode on nature. It's one of the things that makes us human is that we're able to visualize the future, run different scenarios about the future.
And then consider what you would need.
Consider what you would need in case this happens or this happens. And that's why bags are amazing.
That's awesome. Also, there's a whole new complex argument about bags as plastic bags are becoming illegal because they're awful. Mm-hmm. The amount of times I have gone to the grocery store without a reusable bag. Mm-hmm. So you're one of the best people I know at having the foresight to always have a bag with you. And not always, like, it's not like you have one in your back pocket, but you specifically leave it somewhere that you'll remember you're going to the store and you have one.
So it's like meta foresight. I have foresight about the bag, and the bag has foresight when I put things in it.
No, you're just good at it.
Okay.
There's nothing meta about it. You're just much better than other people.
I just want it to be meta, not better.
No. You're not getting a laugh for that either. I'm awful at it. And I'm so bad. It's a thing that makes us distinctly different people. And I haven't thought about this, but now I am, and it kind of sucks for me. I'm messy and disorganized in comparison to you. And I found other ways to kind of deal with it. Like, for instance, I have so many reusable bags. I have upwards of 20 to 30 because I get to the store and I didn't have the foresight to remember to bring a bag. I also am a person, once at the grocery store, I will not use a cart because I don't believe in it. I think I should be able to carry everything.
You're anti-cart?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think.
What about baskets?
Nope.
Why?
Because I didn't have a car for so long that I used to have to carry things home via a bag. And I figured if I couldn't carry it in my arms, it was going to be too much to carry home and it would be too heavy and it would hurt.
Okay, except you've now evolved to own a car.
Yeah, but I haven't evolved enough to remember to bring bags with me. Right. But I've found these little hacks of like leaving bags by the door, leaving bags in the car.
So are these sack hacks?
Yeah, they're sack hacks.
Okay.
Putting a bag in like my work bag and putting one, just all of the different ways you can remember to have a reusable bag with you. I still can't do it. So the idea that having bags makes humans smarter and better than other people is still like, it's on so many different levels of like, are you an actual person? I think you can go to the grocery store and see around you who's a better person than you. Just by the idea of them having reusable bags.
I don't like the idea of them being better people. I think that it's more like the other people are
less evolved.
Cave people. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you're right.
That's apparently, that's not me. That's Adam Bobbie, the psychologist, who's saying that.
But it's true.
There you go.
It's an adaptation to the way that the world is. If you can realize, like, you can foresee the way that you're going to act. And if you can't, it makes you primitive.
So if we get our time machine, we go back to the Stone Age, we get this little clan.
Well, just think of, like, hunting and gathering. When you're out there and you're gathering. So this is very embarrassing for me as a person now that I think about it. You know, if you have to carry a lot of things. So I love a good oversized t-shirt or hoodie. Mm-hmm. So I'll just flip my hoodie around so I can put things in my hoodie
pouch
and carry them like a pouch. Yeah.
Yeah. You're more
kangaroo-esque.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Your sort of spirit animal is the kangaroo.
So yeah, you like flip it around. Like I remember being a kid and being like, I just want to do things in one trip more so than anything else.
That's
so I would like flip it around and be like, oh, this is it. But if I would have just thought about it, you would get a backpack or something.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I wouldn't think about it. It would be too late.
Mm-hmm. Right. So if we went back in time, we're on a time machine to some clan that has the bag technology already, okay? Mm-hmm. We brought them forward in time to the grocery store now. They'd wander around and have their bags, and it would be completely normal for them to like then go out of the store with the stuff that they needed and put it in bags. And yet you and apparently some other people would be wandering around like helplessly trying to stuff things into clothing.
Don't even bring up pockets.
Pockets.
No!
You just brought it up.
No! Your eyes said pockets. Go ahead. Let's talk about it.
I was hoping this would come up. I know that it's a pocket pet peeve.
It's not a pet peeve.
It's
what's wrong with the world.
It's a giant peeve. Right.
Oh, perfect. Today's the episode where I just reveal all of my deepest and darkest insecurities to the world.
Go for it.
The thesis is if women had pockets, the world would be equal. And because the world is patriarchal,
yes,
women do not have as many pockets as men, and our clothes and purses and bags are not designed to carry the amount of stuff that men can carry on their body.
The counter argument to this, hypothetically, I'm not making it, just saying, I suspect somebody might say, and that person might be a man, but you have bags. Like we're talking about bags, and famously, women's bags contain, the technical term is, a shitload of crap. So how can you complain about the pockets?
How many times have you lost your pockets, John?
I've had a hole in my pocket before and lost things, but not lost the pocket. You're right.
So on your body right now, you have 7 pockets.
It looks like I do.
I have 0.
Well,
I have 0.
Right.
So, okay, I have one single bag where I'm supposed to put every entity that's in your pocket right now. Mm-hmm. That bag can be stolen, and it can be lost.
True.
How many pockets can you lose right now?
Well, I mean, if somebody stole my jeans off me,
they can't. You're wearing a belt.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, fair point. Okay, I do. I have.
Also, no, I forgot this whole aspect.
Okay, go on.
Even if I had 7 pockets on my being,
yeah,
women's pockets are designed to be smaller than men.
Yes, and you know what? I know this isn't just your personal pet peeve. I wish I remembered which podcast it was about women's fashion and how pockets are. It was literally about this, right? Like, even in Victorian times, women would manage to have, like, secret pockets inside those, like, voluminous sort of dresses and stuff. And then, I guess, as women, let's just say, took their place at the table of society, for some reason, the pockets sort of disappeared, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as women get a little bit of power, they take our pockets away.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're stuck.
Being kangaroos?
Yeah. Oh, no, we're stuck finding other ways to carry things.
Right.
It's one of the many reasons that women are more organized, because we've had to figure out how to live without pockets. Mm-hmm. And we've had to have the foresight to have a bag. Mm-hmm. And I'm awful at it. I lose purses all the time.
So your thesis is that women are more organized, but this has come several minutes after you've admitted that you can't organize yourself enough to bring a bag. Okay.
I said women.
Right.
I admitted immediately at the top of the show that I'm awful for this.
Right. I mean, look, I don't want to get into a whatever he bag, she bag thing. That didn't sound good. Like, I mean, men can be organized too.
I don't disagree.
Seems like a generalization to me. But I agree about the pocket thing.
If you don't give a group of people the same tools, then you do have to become more organized so that you could deal with a lack of tool.
That's a good point. Can't argue with that at all.
Thank you.
And I have heard this argument before about the pockets. Like I said, I even heard it there was an entire historical podcast about it, and it was definitely true in the history of fashion.
There's a little bit of fact to that folklore.
Mm-hmm. And then since becoming aware of it, I have noticed that women do seem to be afflicted with fewer pockets and smaller ones as well on top of that, right? Because I love having tons of stuff in my pocket.
Do you know how tough it is to have so few pockets and then to have one hand in my pocket and the other one making a peace sign?
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I know who does know.
I have someone on the inside.
Our fellow Canadian, Alanis Morissette, for those of you who don't know. No, because people could be too young or too old or not Canadian enough to know what that reference was to. So I'm just little asterisk there. Hello, Alanis. Hope you're listening.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, it would.
I think it's really interesting to think of the history of the bag now, because I'm only thinking about it in relation to groceries.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the simplest way to go about it, because at some point there was only paper bags, which don't have a handle. Mm-hmm. And then we progressed either to paper bags with handles, but before that was plastic bags with handles, the really cheap ones. Mm-hmm. Then we went to the heavy-duty plastic bags. Mm-hmm. And then thinking about fruit, too, that you couldn't just carry, I admitted that I carry things at the grocery store. I buy apples every week. I couldn't carry just 4 loose apples around. And now we've gone back, we've become better and we're eliminating plastic. So you do kind of have to, again, reestablish this reusable and push yourself to remember and be conscious of having a bag.
Right. And even things I guess that there's an intimate relationship between shopping lists and bags too, because it all is about foresight, right?
Genius. So we've had this argument multiple times. I write my grocery list.
Mm-hmm.
You have it on your phone.
Yeah.
I forget my grocery list every week.
Right.
But it's the actual mechanical notion of writing something down that helps me remember.
Sure.
Whereas you don't have to.
No, sure. And if I lost my phone, I'd be screwed for the shopping list, among other things. But yeah, it's true that mechanical thing does work to help you remember things. But anyway, just to get back to bag before we conclude, when I was listening to this interview, I was actually thinking, well, what about the hunters who are going out? And I don't want to stereotype it being the men in the tribe more than the women or whatever. That doesn't really matter. You would have to bring things with you. You'd have to have the foresight to bring your spear and your, I don't know, maybe you have a bag with rocks in or something to throw at the beast that you want to kill. Who knows, right? Or you've sharpened things to use to kill them. But to me, that's still not that much foresight. It's it's just, there's a purpose.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's very short term.
Yeah, but it's just, everything is just linked to that one purpose. Whereas a bag opens up a whole world of possibilities.
Well, it opens up travel.
Yeah.
How could you go 2 or 3 days without a bag?
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. And therefore you need to, think about all the different potential, stuff
Various
that might
outcomes.
come up.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, I think what's really interesting, and it's what I thought as soon as you brought up the word, is the saying it's in the bag. It's just so telling of our society now, because if it's in the bag, it means you're already carrying it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that would be a thing 200 years ago, that it's already in the bag.
Oh, okay. Why 200 years ago?
Because, again, groceries. It's all I can think about is grocery stores.
Right.
It's kind of the natural progression of always having a bag on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I can remember those old thin plastic bags where if you had, when I didn't have a car,
Kevin from Home Alone.
You would You would be walking and you could feel them getting longer.
You feel them give.
Yeah.
I sent that gif to I love that you can send gifs nowadays. But I sent that gif of Kevin walking with his 2 bags and them splitting. Yeah. And he's a 6-year-old and doesn't understand.
Right.
Or doesn't have the foresight that he needed more than 2 bags.
Yeah. But the thing, I was actually not talking about the bag splitting. I was talking about the handles getting longer and longer, getting thinner.
So worse.
And it kind of cutting into your hands. And then you can feel you have the sinking feeling that this is just not going to hold.
So I think that's why 18-year-old me is much different than me. Well, me now. Also, the whole exclusion of plastic bags is when I first moved out and moved downtown and went to go do my groceries, a 10-minute walk away. You use a cart. Your eyes are much bigger than your stomach. And then all of a sudden you're walking home and you can feel that happening. And it hurts. And every part of you is like, I can't carry this for the next 10 minutes.
Especially in the winter. It's even worse than in Montreal, right? It's minus whatever and it hurts and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, bags. To me, like we've come up with the tagline for bags. Bags, a world of possibilities.
Bags. Go wherever you'd like.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things. So, listeners, by all means, send in your ideas for taglines for bags. And what are your thoughts on organizing your reusable bags? Are you more like a Bobbie or more like a John?
I hope you're not like me. I'm so sorry if you are.
Do you think there's any way that you can sort of like turn a page? No.
I don't know how.
No, she's shaking her head, everybody.
I desperately want to be able to. I just don't know how I'm going to.
And you don't think keeping them in your car is an option like I do?
I've even switched to the point that I have 3 different bags of bags.
Mm-hmm.
I have one that stays in my trunk, one that stays at my door, and one that stays in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So that I can easily rotate all 3. So that when I go to the grocery store, and even if I forget the bags that are in my car while I'm grocery shopping, I will not use a bag. I just bring it outside, go to my trunk, pack the bags, bring them upstairs, go to my kitchen, empty everything out, switch the bags that are supposed to be for the kitchen to the door. The ones that are in the door, I will unlock my front door and put them on the first stair.
That sounds very organized.
It still doesn't work.
How does it fail?
I don't know, but it just fails. I wish I could tell you, but it's...
Okay, well, anyway, we'll look into this. I'm sure everybody would love it if you could manage to find a solution. I think it would make everybody happy. So we'll try to figure out what goes wrong and how we can put it right.
Yeah, I'm going to get my research and development team on it.
Good.
And I'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for listening. As always, everybody, please send your suggestions for words and phrases that you'd like to cover on the show to
Fauxropter@gmail.com. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts.
And also, just a reminder that wherever you listen to podcasts can also include YouTube. Like we have, there's no pictures to go along with it, but all of our episodes are available on YouTube to listen to as well.
For the rest of this week, I would like everyone to remember, it's in the bag.
Okay, thanks everybody. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.